All right, well, happy Tuesday morning to you all. It is May 30th today, last day of the month, and I'm taking the little Cub for another work commute. I've been absolutely slammed with work for the last several weeks, which is good. I need to get a lot of money in so I can afford to coast through June on the Cannonball Run, but I've got to get some prep going. PCX is sitting behind the house over there on the patio underneath the gazebo waiting for me to get into it. I need to tear down the front plastics and put a couple of things on it. The GPS mount that Neil made for me, and some other electrical bits, all my charging and stuff for the cameras and you name it. So it's less than 10 days to the Cannonball, or for when I need to leave anyway. So I've got to get my tail out of Houston no later than the 10th, and I'll be meeting Neil and a couple of other people out in western Texas, and possibly a rider from Florida is going to be coming in. Mike, LM15, he might be coming in from the Florida area through Houston, and I don't know if we're going to meet up on his way through. He's on a Forza 300, so he runs a little faster than we do on the highway. He can cook along 75, 80 miles an hour, and we're going to be limited to about 60-ish, 65 maybe. Just kind of holding back a little bit, not running full open. So we're going to caravan up. We'll have a handful of riders that are going to be making the trek from kind of the, I don't know, maybe western Texas area over to into New Mexico, continue the route through Arizona into California. So we'll see how it works out. But it's a mad dash for prep for me now. I've got to get all of my gear ready. I plan to do a few loadout videos, but I'm hoping that I have enough time to actually edit those videos and post them before I leave on the Cannonball. I might not. I'll do the prep and everything that I need to do and record it, and then some of that might have to wait until I return, so we'll find out. Maybe I could do live streams on that, but those will be pretty discombobulated. I won't have a lot of time to plan those out, you know, as far as prepping everything right before the video shoot. It would be just, you know, totally brainstorming random stuff. I work off of lists for all of my road trips and my motorcycle packing and stuff like that. I have checklists and packing lists for all of my different kits, whether it be you know, bike kit, road emergency kit, like flats and stuff like that. My sleep kit, cook kit, but I won't be taking that this time because this is going to be an on-road trip. Neil is going to be taking a lot of cooking stuff probably, so I'll leave that to him. We're going to be caravanned up most of the time. Personal effects, clothes, you know, toiletries, that sort of thing. I've got lists for all of that, so I just print them out and check them off as I go. So maybe that'll be interesting to some people to watch what goes into these longer trips as far as equipment selection and prep. Won't be a lot of change in my camping gear. I've got that pretty well sorted. I have a good kit that I trust, and I've been using it for years, so I'll just continue on with that. I will probably be taking the REI Half Dome 2 Plus tent. I think I can get another season out of that. It's getting a little long in the tooth now. It's probably 10 years old plus, but it still works. I think the seam tape is disappearing on the inside of it, around the floor, because I see all this white crusty stuff that's floating around in there. Every time I roll it up and then redeploy it, I see all this white dust, and I've noticed that the tape looks like it's getting pretty bad, so it might not be 100% waterproof for me anymore. I don't think I will take the Kamek Sunda 2 with me. It's just a little bit too big, and I'm going to have a lot of other equipment. I'm not carrying the trailer behind me this time. That's another story. I'll get into that in a minute. But space and weight is going to be at a premium, so I'm trying to pick my lighter gear. I would just do hammock, but there's no guarantee that there's always going to be trees where we'll be, so tent is the safer option. So on the trailer front, Joel at KipMoto has been just slammed busy, I guess, with orders and everything. I've sent him a couple of emails, and I just haven't been able to get in contact with him. Several other people have mentioned that they've tried to reach him, and he's not available, so that's okay. I appreciate all the custom work that you did for me last Cannonball 2 years ago, so thank you, Joel. I hope you're doing well, sir. I hope everything's working out on the personal front and the business front. Your trailers are amazing, and they're in high demand. Maybe after all this slows down, I can engage you to build another hoop for the PCX 150, or maybe a different bike that's coming soon. So Adrian decided that he can't go on the Cannonball this year. He's got a family engagement that's going to be with his boys. It's a couple week-long camping adventure with the Boy Scouts or whatever, so that's totally understandable. Those are once-in-a-lifetime things when your kids are a particular age. You know, you gotta do those things when it's possible, you know, and set up those memories and enjoy those times while you can get them. So we'll do the Cannonball again next time, or a couple of years out, whatever it is. He mentioned that he might be interested in driving support, follow behind us in something, and just take the cross-country trip and not ride. So I think maybe the Super Cub trip on the Cannonball ruined him. He's barely ridden that Cub since he came back from the Cannonball 2 years ago. He's ridden it around a few times. We've taken it on a road trip or two, but then he bought my 2016 PCX 150 from me, and he prefers that. He said it's just, it's more comfortable, it's faster, and he had planned to take that on the Cannonball this year, but ended up not going. So anyway, he sent me a text a couple, 3 weeks ago saying that he put his Cub on eBay for sale. The whole thing, the Cub, the trailer, everything. And he said he set it as a no reserve auction, and he just wanted to see where it would go. And I was like, oh dude, I would have bought it. And he said, well, I didn't think to ask because you had so many bikes and you're trying to thin it down. But he replied back a few minutes later saying, I'm just going to let it go for a day, and then I'll take it down, I'll end the listing early, and I'll sell it to you cheap. So that's what he's going to do. So I'm going to have Adrian's 2019 Cub, same as mine, the one that he bought from a channel viewer up in Minnesota. So I'll be getting his Cub and trailer, the whole setup, exactly as he rode it to the Cannonball last time. So that'll give me a second trailer to play with, I guess. I don't think I'll sell any of it. I could, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. I might powder coat the second trailer. That's what I might do. Powder coat it black or maybe red to match the Trail Cub or something. We'll see. Oh, no footer, no footer, no footer. No footer. Oh, can you do it? Can you do it? Yep, still no footer. Okay. Yep, no footer. All right. Never put my feet down. I don't think I'm going to get on the highway today. It's a little bit clogged. Wow, it's a lot clogged. Wow. I've got an appointment at 8:30, so I have time. I'll just tootle along on the access roads and try not to incur the stupidity of any cagers coming flying out of parking lots like I did on the PCX 150. That sucked, man. Because I was like right here, and a guy comes flying out of the parking lot 25 miles an hour, never looked, and then squatted right in the middle lane right in front of me. Oh, nowhere to go. Cars on my left, cars on my right. So I still haven't figured out all of my tech and everything that I'm going to take on the trip. You know, it's always a mad dash because I'm forever upgrading things right before I take a big trip instead of just having them ready. Procrastinator's disease, I guess. So I need to go pick up another phone this week to use as a dedicated hotspot. I'll probably just get a cheap Google Pixel or something like that on Verizon. I can add a 5th line to my plan, and it doesn't really cost me anything. When you get up to 5 lines, apparently on the unlimited plans, it lowers the price of the other 4 lines, so the 5th line is essentially free. So that kind of works out. And it's going to share the same unlimited data plan that everything else has got, so that's fine. And then the second phone that I'm going to get is probably Google Fi. I think I've decided on that instead of Simple Mobile or T-Mobile or AT&T or whatever, because Google Fi uses anybody it can find on the GSM network. I don't believe that it switches over to CDMA, which is Verizon. I think it's just GSM, but it'll do AT&T, T-Mobile, something cellular, Metro Cellular, I don't remember what it is. There's 4 or 5 different carriers across the country that it'll transparently switch to. 5G if it's available, or it drops down to 4G LTE. So between one of those 2 phones, either the Verizon phone or the Google Fi, it should find a network, we hope. So that will allow me to live stream from the bike while I'm on location, all that. So on the Cub front, it hasn't been used a lot lately. I think the last time I rode it, I was talking about my slow leak in the rear tire. Still have it. I haven't pulled the rear wheel off of it yet to dunk it, wet tank it and find that leak. I did spray soapy water all over the tread and around the valve stem and still didn't find it. So I don't know where the leak is, but it's fairly significant. You see me here, fucking dick. Comes right up next to me, puts a signal on, thinks he's going to change lanes over the top of me. Empty road, dick. Find somewhere else. Anywho, the leak is it's significant because it'll leak down, 20 pounds in a day, essentially. So, I don't know. I think you would see that bubbling somewhere, but I sprayed all over it and couldn't find any bubbles. I don't know where it is. Too many projects, too little time. Navi is also on my long overdue project list. My XT250 is on my project list. So hopefully I don't go totally broke while I'm on the Cannonball this year. And when I come back, I'll give it a week, maybe 2 weeks of work catch up. And then I'll try to get into my projects. I want to get the XT back on the road. Come on, dude. How green does it have to be? The XT250 has been sitting for a couple of years. It just needs Jesus, look at this asshole. The XT250 needs a voltage regulator rectifier, potentially a stator, I don't know. Not really sure what failed on it. Most likely it's the regulator rectifier. Those are the more common item to fail. All right, well, welcome back to the day. I'm cutting out a little bit early because the weather is coming. We're supposed to have some pretty good rain and thunderstorms rolling into the metro here in about 30 minutes or less. It's kind of spawning just a little bit to the south of me right over here, and or I guess southwest, back behind me, kind of that direction. Anyway, I'm going to try to beat it and not have to stop and put on the rain gear. We'll see how it goes. I was going to stop at the warehouse and swap for the Rebel. I haven't ridden the Rebel in a couple weeks, but I don't think the weather is going to cooperate with me for that, so I'll skip it. Try to get home and stay dry, stay out of the frantic mess on the highways whenever it starts raining. Get home and do some more packing today, arranging of my electronics and gear and all the stuff that I need. So hurry up and stop. It's a red light, dummy. So I've been arranging all my electronics, my kit, you know, camping gear, everything that I need for the trip, but I haven't actually gotten to laying it out and putting it in bags or containers or anything yet. That is coming. I still need to tear into the PCX 150, so I'm hoping to just reserve the entire week next week for my prep. That means I've got to work extra hard this week, and I've got a big client cutover that's going to happen on Friday. Not ideal, because then if there's any problems it cuts into my week next week, but yeah, got to make the money. So I'm going to try to put together my electronics box over this weekend, and that'll be you know, charging and phone and all the electronics gear and stuff like that for keeping things running and charged on the bike. I have a couple of small Pelican type boxes that I'm planning to use if I can make it fit in my roll bag. I'd rather have those kind of hard protected instead of just floating around getting smashed by the other stuff in the bags, getting banged around on the road. We shall see if it works or not. All right, dude, I need over there. Can I get over? Thank you. If the Pelican box works out, then I'm going to put a charging port on the box itself and then hook everything up through a bulkhead connector. That way the box is sealed up, ready to go. It's just plug in, and everything inside it's wired and plugged and ready to go, and then I can open and close it to feed batteries and that sort of thing in there. So we'll see how it works. If not, then I'll do what I've done previous several times, and that's just put stuff in soft-sided bags, flexible bags, and try to keep them away from the other stuff, either in the top box or in the side of the roll bag. And that rain is coming. You can see the rain bands over there. Like being next to you, buddy. Get in behind him and use him as a windbreak. Yeah, throttle is almost closed. I'm maybe not even a third open. I just need something to block the wind. Ooh, it's getting windy over here. Too bad this isn't smell-o-vision. You guys could smell the fabulous rotten fish of the brake linings of the truck in front of me. Whew, man, he got on the brakes or the clutch or both. Stanky. Look at this guy with this trailer. Apparently he thinks he's driving a sports car and has forgotten that he has got a trailer behind him. Bumper biting, being super aggressive. Dude, you're in a pickup truck with a trailer. Chill out. I'm gonna make it home dry. But now that I said that, I probably jinxed it. It's looking pretty dark. See how it goes. Man, I'd love to be hanging in a hammock right now. Right as the rain is about to set in. The wind is cool right now because of the cold front. Just hang in a hammock and swing in the breeze. A little tarp over the top to keep me dry.